Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. It's time for What's in My Tumbler episode 60, and let's play a game. What do you think I'm going to forget to do this week? Because it's happening every week. We're going to start out with Ruby Rose. This is in stage 2 going into stage 3, and it is looking really good. I am very curious to see how this turns out. So this is Ruby in Zoisite and a mix of other rocks because I didn't have a whole lot of the ruby, and so there's rose quartz and zebra or cheetah jasper, that jasper. I think there's some aventurine and other kinds of jasper. There's lots of stuff in here. So we're gonna go ahead and add some ivory soap to do a cleaning cycle before we put this into stage 3. And I did finally, not on camera, but after the final rinse, clean off that washer. It had a thick coat of grease on it. And it's part of the reason my hands have been getting so nasty doing all of this. So this ended up tumbling overnight in the cleaning cycle because my life is crazy this week and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I couldn't get to it yesterday. So it tumbled until this morning overnight. And so we're just going to get all of that soap rinsed off and then do a quick inspection since I didn't inspect yesterday. I do this between all of my batches, making sure nothing is broken, chipped, or showing like it's going to cause any problems going forward. If something breaks mid-cycle, the sharp edges could cause scratches on your other rocks, which is going to affect your final finish. I don't find anything, so it all just got put back in the barrel. The barrel's a little light, but I didn't want to add anything to this at this stage. I could, but I just didn't want to. So we're going to fill that up with water, tablespoon of borax, 3 tablespoons of stage 3, and the wind was blowing, so you can see little puffs as it goes by. So then get the lid put on this, and it's going to go for a week in stage 3. And next up, we have the Coquina Jasper, Marion Stone, Elephant Stone, whatever you want to call this. It is a very interesting slurry, forbidden chocolate milk, I guess is what you could call it. And we're going to get this all rinsed off and ready to go in for its bath cycle. This is a softer stone, so I am tumbling it by itself with some media. And it left a huge mess under where the colander was, so I didn't want to put the barrel right on top of that because I didn't want to have to then clean the barrel. But we're going to put all that back, and you can see that it didn't really quite rinse out, so I'm going to spray that out a little bit more. I want these as clean as I can get them going into the cleaning cycle, because, I mean, the cleaning cycle should just be finishing up. It shouldn't be doing a lot of heavy lifting as far as cleaning. And if you bet that I would forget to put both water and soap in a cleaning cycle, you won that. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was distracted by the fact that there's just like a pile of slurry on my rocks there. So anyway, open it back up, tablespoon of shaved ivory soap, get this button back up, and it is also going to tumble in its bath overnight. Usually I only do a few hours, especially with the ivory soap. I feel like it works a little faster than the borax, but anyway, so we're going to get that rinsed off and start going into doing the inspection for stage 3. Again, these, I don't expect these to break, especially since we are being very careful about tumbling them with media. And I'm not putting any harder stones in here with them, but we are going to see. And so I need reminders that this does not go into stage 4 next week. This batch needs to go into what I'm going to call stage 3.5, which is just a slight step up. So pre-polish, stage 3 pre-polish is about 1,000 grit, and then polish is an 8,000 grit. And it was recommended for this stone to do a 1,500 before you do the 8,000. So you're just going to step it up just a little bit before you go to the 8,000 to get the best results. So that's what we're going to do. So it's going to get a 3.5 stage next week instead of going straight into stage 4. And Even though I'm reminding myself constantly, I'm sure that's what I'm going to forget to do next week. Anyway, moving into mix it up. This is whatever pieces of rock I had laying around that had not been good enough in batches that moved on. And so it is a hodgepodge mix of a lot of things. And I've said this before, I do mixed batches quite often. My expectations for mixed batches is that some of them are going to look really good and some of them are not. So I am not concerned too much about whether or not these rocks get shiny. Because if it comes to the end and some of the rocks aren't shiny, I will put them in my box of rocks that didn't shine up. And maybe one day I will do an entire batch of rocks that didn't shine up initially. So this is me inspecting, seeing if any of these rocks are ready for stage 2. There actually were quite a bit. I was fairly surprised. And I know that this is way out of focus. I couldn't do my two angles this week. I just wasn't able to do it. So that's why that was so out of focus. But, all right. So now that I have stage 1 rocks are still in the barrel, I had more that needed to go in there, so I just put those in there. I still had a little bit more room, and I happened to just look, and I saw this rock in my rock beds, and was like, huh, that's an interesting looking bit of quartz. Let's just throw that in there, see what happens. So Mix It Up now has a bit of river rock in there for some reason. I'm actually curious to see what color that turns into because it tends to change color, these rocks. They'll have a rock that looks brown and it comes out white. So I'm curious to see what color quartz that ends up being. It's just a bit of quartz, so who knows. It's probably just going to be regular quartz, but I am very curious about what that's going to turn out. So next we've got marine photography. This is ocean jasper and picture jasper. And that is a very interesting color of slurry. I didn't notice that when I was rinsing it. That was kind of a little bluish greenish color, probably from the ocean jasper. So you can see the blue rocks in there, the ocean jasper, the brown is the picture jasper. And I'm mixing these two together just because I can. There was not really any reason other than I have them both and I like to put mixed batches together. These are similar hardness though, so there's not any harm in doing this. They should shine up just the same in these, not like my other mixed batch that's mixes of quartz and jasper and all kinds of stuff. So again, I am looking to see what rocks are ready to move on into stage 2. There were a few rocks that were ready for stage 2. Most of them still need more time in stage 1. So I'm going to add another piece of the ocean jasper, a few more pieces of the picture jasper, top this up with water, and then borax and stage 1 grit, because these are still needing more time in stage 1. And then we are going to get these on the tumbler for a week. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a hectic, shorter video this week. There's a lot going on in my life, so I kind of have to squeeze this in where I can. But I do want to thank you for watching. I'm happy to see that people watch these videos, and I hope to see you all back next week.